For those of you that I've not yet met, my name is David Montanez. I'm the Vice President of Franchise Development at Authority Brands. Authority Brands has 14 separate franchise offerings, all based on home services. Today I'm going to introduce you to 3 of them, and it is an introduction. There's no way I can cover all of them as well as they deserve in 5 minutes, but I'll give it a whirl. So let's try to figure this out. The 3 brands that I'd like to talk to you today: Ben Franklin Plumbing, Mr. Sparky Electric, and 1 Hour Heating and Air. Collectively, these 3 brands are called the trades. And these businesses are all focused on home services, residential services. And I always start off these presentations the same way. These are an essential services brand. 106 degrees in Phoenix, Arizona, dry heat my butt, you need air conditioning, right? You just gotta have it. Second story bathroom is not working, or worse, is running down the first, you need a plumber. The third one is, I don't care where you are or what you do, you don't have electricity today and you have kids home from school, you will lose your mind. So, what we do is to make sure that that happens and that they move forward. Now, I'm going to address the 3 elephants in the room, and that should get us right to questions if I do it right. So, number 1, everyone's going to ask me the question, David, I'm not a plumber, I'm not an electrician, I'm not an HVAC tech. Do I have to be one to own this franchise? The answer is no. May just ended. Today's June the 2nd, May just ended. We have awarded, my team has awarded 30 new franchisees, 45 territories combined, all 3 brands. Not a single plumber, electrician, or HVAC tech in the group. Not a one. What we're looking for are the business people who can see the opportunity of an essential service. How so? My largest Ben Franklin did $26 million last year. My largest 1 Hour did 40, and my largest Mr. Sparky did $40 million. This is a real business. There's no opportunity here for there not to be. So, you don't have to have it. You do need licensing, so don't walk away saying you don't. We will work with you to help you find a licensed player in your territory. Newsflash, New York and California are harder than Memphis, Tennessee, and Yuma, Arizona, but you get the idea. We can arrange to have a licensed person that you interview that meets your requirements, sign a contract with you, and you're basically leasing that license. Every year it comes up. You can still hire people who are electricians. We'll get to that. That's the 3rd elephant in the room. But the opportunity is very large, and you don't have to be the franchisee. I'm sorry, you don't have to be the holder of the license as a franchisee. All right, so you're in business. You got a licensed guy. 3rd question, where are the techs coming from? I don't hang out with plumbers. My brother-in-law's a plumber. I don't hang out with him. Literally, we just have different mindsets, right? Here's what I will tell you. 10, 20, 30 years ago, I'm a little older, so I'll go back 100 years ago, everybody who was graduating high school was going to college to become the Wolf of Wall Street. Everybody was going to make $1 million a day just being on Wall Street, right? The cost of college has exceeded. The trust in the American corporate foundation of long-term is gone. And kids, shouldn't call them kids, high school students are graduating, going to technical school. There was an article published in October of 2024, the $1 million plumber and HVAC tech, Wall Street Journal. These guys are coming out of school, making money, being able to afford the riches that they never had before, and they want to work in this industry. Second of all, Authority Brands, through Dan Mock, who's the president of Mr. Sparky, has led our recruit military. Last year, we received 5,000 resumes from men and women who are leaving the armed services, who are looking for a job across the Authority 14 brands. So, I'll gladly answer any questions. Startup costs on a franchise is $43. We tell everybody that regardless of the brand, you're going to need $250,000. That'll get you your 2 vehicles to get you started. That'll get you through training. That'll get you through advertising. That'll get you through your first 3 months, no questions asked. And now you start to grow your business. Time? Oh,
Can you just explain how the leasing, the license?
yeah, licensing. Yeah, so go back to the story about them not being in college or going to college to become Wall Street folks. The state have found that they weren't enough plumbers, electricians, and HVAC folks. So states came up with rules that allow you to basically rent their license. Typically under contract, we have third-party providers that do that for you, where you will rent the license. You need that for Google advertising. You need that for the license number on your vehicle, and you rent it for a year. And it comes up, it's like leasing a car or fuel in the vehicles. It's a monthly cost. And depending on where you are, no surprise, New York, California, more expensive than Memphis and Phoenix, right? But the idea is, on average, about $2,000 a month. In the other states, about $2,500 in New York and California. And it's a year-long, and you can renew it every year, or you can become an HVAC person if that's what you want to do. You can go through training and get to school yourself. $250,000 is what we tell everybody they should have. Now, if you're in New York and California, you may want to get to $300,000, but that'll cover the 2 vehicles, your training, getting your technicians on board. You know, we talk, there's not a lot of tools in this. That's the beauty of this business, right? These are not heavy assets. You're not having earth-moving equipment. You rent that. You go to Home Depot and go rent that, right? And we have discounts for all of our folks who do that. So there's not a lot of equipment here. There are a couple of cameras that are needed in plumbing. For electrical, very little, probably the least amount of all of them. And on the HVAC, we have internally a buying arm that allows us to do that, but they also provide financing. You need a new HVAC today, it's going to cost you $15,000, $20,000 as a homeowner. Most people aren't going to stroke you a check for that. We provide financing for that through BuyMax. You do need a small warehouse, 1,200 square foot, right? Like that's just to hold the tools. In my case, my wife does not want the plumbers in the house, so we're going to put them in the warehouse, right? And that's where you get your daily assignments and all that other good stuff. Your question for marketing is the driver. And we work with all of the major marketing opportunities to get that through. Now, you are a franchisee. You have the right to say, I don't, for example, I don't want to use Thumbtack. I want to use this. Great. Our marketing person will sit down, draw up that plan with you, and then come back to you and say, here's what it looks like, here's what the cost is going to be, here's what we expect. And then you pull the trigger one way or the other.
Do you guys help-generate leads, or is it all?
No, of course, 100%. You can't help it. There's the 800 number that goes through, right? We have call centers throughout the nations. You don't have to participate on the Monday through Friday. On the weekend, we want you participating because you're going to get calls on the weekend.
I have a question. Year over year, your revenue growth has been around about 11%.
Sounds right.
So you've grown at an exponential rate. One of the things that's going to be important for everybody here that want to be franchising, operational support. How are you supporting those franchisees, and how are you ensuring that those locations are open and producing the AUVs you're looking for?
So I'll get into a little bit of how the sausage is made, and then again, I'm willing to stay for as long as you like, right? But let's go through it. We have an onboarding team that gets you from the day you sign the contract. Within 24 hours, you will get a franchise agreement. You will get a phone call welcoming you in. There is a 220 some odd item checklist, everything from insurance to marketing and everything in between to walk you through that. That's one. Number two, you were assigned a marketing person. For your first 9 months, you will be dealing with the same marketing person. And then you're assigned a business coach. You get a business coach after you come on board, after you open. That person is with you 30 days before you start and walks you all the way through. You will always have a business coach. Now, the one thing that we do, and here's the guys who are doing $40 million, they talk to you. You could actually pick up the phone and go, man, I am struggling with this, help me. And they will, or we'll arrange the phone call for you. The beauty of franchising is you are never alone. You can't be. Because every time a yellow 1-hour shirt goes bad, or every time a red shirt has a problem for Mr. Sparky, it impacts all of them. They can't let that happen. So they don't.
Well, last question.
Oh.
Yeah, you mentioned the training for the franchisees. One, how long does the training last, and what all does it entail, this training?
Okay, so training is 90 days, right? We try to get you on 90 days. I think we're averaging about 103. So about 103 days from start to finish is the onboarding process. You go through boot training. So we do use Service Titan is the name of the company. I'm not sure I'm supposed to say that, but I said it anyway. So anyway, we have a third-party CRM tool that we use to help us with our scheduling and everything else to get you through it. What we're trying to do and build in this process is singular in its nature. Singular in its nature. The number one complaint of every homeowner in America when it comes to home services, you guys never show up. You told me you're going to be here at 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock. You didn't show up. I called you at 4. I called you at 5. I called you at 6. I left answering messages for you because no one's there in person. You can't do that with the trades. You must have a live voice. We work on a 2-vehicle process that allows you to offset those challenges. And as spoken earlier, the importance of keeping people happy and running, training is the number one thing technicians want. When you afford them the opportunity to train, to take on bigger jobs and provide more income for their family, they will stay. We have Success Academy, 200 plus video library for them to go train on. Hey, rainy day today, you couldn't get out there to fix this? Come on in and take this training class. We'll pay you for the day. Awesome. And that's what keeps them here.